Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pin and today I'm going to be setting up a new anime called Dr. Stone. I absolutely love the show. I've always gone through all of season 3 because it's only up to season 3, but it's amazing and I just going to read you a little summary of the show. After a cataclysm causes everyone in the world to be turned to a stone, two boys awaken and take on the daunting task of trying to revive the rest of humanity. This epic struggle quickly turns into a fight between opposing forces of science and might, and who exactly deserves to be revived. Now, if that interests you, I suggest you go check out the show. It's really cool. But today I've got a one-shot from the fandom. Called Amber Blade, by Sunshineisdelicious. Here is the summary. Kohaku didn't make a big fuss about her birthday. That won't stop her friends from making her an awesome gift. Thank you, these aren't mine, she said, a bit surprised that he didn't know what her tools looked like after all this time. He scoffs and says, "What are you talking about? Those daggers are 10 billion% yours." I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let's get right into the fic. Kohaku didn't like to make a big fuss about her birthday. It was nice to have people wish her good next year, and while there were a whole lot more people around these days, she honestly didn't expect anything more than a small celebratory dinner with her family. And that's what she got. First thing in the morning, she, Rory, and her father had a nice breakfast together, briefly reminiscing over the scraps Kohaku got into as a child. Not that she still didn't, as Rory teased. When they finished, Kohaku was getting ready to leave for the lab to help with whatever needed to be done, before realizing her daggers weren't where she thought she left them. "Rory," she said as she searched around their shared sleeping place, moving boxes and plant pots. "Have you seen my daggers?" No. I'll look over here. Did you leave them at the lab yesterday?" Kohaku sighed. She was usually so careful with her tools, but maybe she put them down while training and forgot about them. "Maybe. I'll check there. Let me know if you find anything. If you find them. I'll see you later." And she was off. She got quite a few happy birthday wishes as she walked to the lab from villagers and unpetrified people alike. Maybe Rory had spread the word? It was quite strange, but she smiled and thanked everyone regardless. She popped her head into the lab. "Hey guys," she said. Chrome and Senku were looking at something, while Gen was sorting through rocks, and Kasuki and Suika. "Happy birthday!" everyone but Senku cried. She smiled and thanked them, feeling warm and happy. They talked for a bit, just small talk, and then Kohaku slid up to Senku. "Hey," she said. He didn't look away from his experiment. She huffed, always so focused. "Did I leave my daggers here last night?" "Oh, yeah, we put them over there." He gestured to a bag on the small table by the entrance of the lab. "Thanks," she said, jogging over to them. "Except the daggers and sheaths," she pulled out. Thank you, these aren't mine," she said, looking a bit surprised that he didn't know what her tools looked like after all this time. He scoffed and said, "What are you talking about? Those daggers are 10 billion% yours." But... And then she saw the little grin he had on his face, and how he was still facing his project but not doing anything with it, watching her out of the corner of his eyes. How Kino and Ginro were peeking from the outside, how everyone was waiting for a reaction. Oh. She looked more closely at the daggers and sheath belt. They were exquisitely crafted. Kasuki's work, no doubt, with help from Chrome. There were patterns stamped into the leather belt, not quite perfectly, which led her to believe that was a contribution from Gin or Suika. Jeez, that name's always hard to pronounce. Perhaps. The blades themselves, gorgeous. She could tell that Gino and Kino had both played a hand in their design. They were practical, but also a little flashy. And of course, it wouldn't be a gift from Senku unless there was something utterly baffling about it. The metal blades were coloured. It was amber tinted. She smiled. Amber itself could be brittle, and was and so was unsuited for her blades as much as she saw them as well. Okay, amber itself could be brittle, so it was unsuited for her use in battles as she used them. There were also shapes etched into the handle that looked a little bit like the writing from the past. Does this say something? She asked. Senku pointed a little bit closer pointed out one of the shapes when he had come closer. This one's Ko, he said, and this one's Haku, Amber, and you, of course. She had never cared about seeing her name written down, at least not before now. She looked at the characters, insert Japanese for Kohaku, and realized that they meant her. Something about that was very important to her, even if she couldn't explain it. Senku was saying something about their names written, their names and alternate spellings and katakana, whatever that was. But she didn't really understand, so she refocused on the blades. Slowly, she spun them in her hands, gripping them as she normally would grip her daggers. They were well balanced, which was no surprise. Kisaki had been making weapons much longer than she had been alive, and Senku's new methods had only improved the outcome of his works. The light caught the colour of the metal, making it shine, and she couldn't help but smile. She'd never had a gift like this before. It was perfect, and her friends, she actually had friends, were gathered around. All of them had helped somehow, and she'd carried their thoughtfulness with her at all times now. Her eyes blurred as she burned as she cleared her throat. Such a great gift, she said. Who knows what we'll find once we set sail? It's good to be prepared for everything. Good thinking, everyone. Gen sighed and said something about practical people and beautiful gifts, and her friends were laughing along with and going along with their day. And all she could do was stand there and stare at the daggers in her hands. She'd never seen anything so beautiful in her entire life, and she didn't know what to do with the emotion stuck in her throat. Senku didn't leave with the others, instead leaning against the wall next to her. How did you make the metal this colour? She asked. He chuckled. So sure it was me? She gave him a flat look and he snickered. Yeah, okay. And he started talking about metals and chemicals and electricity, and honestly stuff she didn't know what any of it meant, but it sounded difficult and time-consuming. She didn't ask him why he did this for her, or who worked on it, or anything like that. It was enough to know that her friends all cared about her, and that she would never have to have them. Never would have known how wonderful or full of hope the world could have been if she had met Senku. Okay, everyone, that was Amber Blaze by Sunshine is Delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is just a short one-shot, just a little over 1,000 words, and I really enjoyed it, so make sure to check out the fic and leave kudos and just leave support, because this fic is honestly amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!